Hi team, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lara and this is a channel all about productivity and purposeful living. So today we're really going to interrogate that purposeful part. It's quite hard to live with purpose if you are unsure of what your purpose is. So how do we find our purpose? And the answer is actually quite simple. It's ask yourself questions. So before we go any further, go and grab yourself a pen and a bit of paper, and then we'll get cracking. First things first, I want you right now to go into the comment section and write one sentence. And that one sentence is why you're doing this process. It could be something very simple. It could be, I'm feeling unfulfilled in my life. It could be, I'm feeling a bit down. It could be, I'm really hating my job at the moment. Just that one sentence. Trust me, we're gonna come back to it later. Okay, let's go. Question number one, what do you love? Really think about the things that bring you joy in life. The things that make you feel awesome, the things that make you feel amazing. Pro tip is to go back through your social media accounts and have a look at your photos from around about the last 3 to 6 months is probably useful, and really think about the times where you're like, oh, I felt amazing that day, or that was so much fun, or I really enjoyed that thing. Whatever it was, write that down, at least 5. On the flip side, what were the worst bits of the last 3 to 6 months? Which were the bits that brought you the most sadness, the most frustration, the most anguish? Which parts do you look back on and kind of go, I really wish I hadn't done that, been there, been in that situation. That particular situation, I was so anxious and I hated it. That particular situation, I found myself questioning my self-worth and I hated it. Whatever those scenarios are, write those down as well. Really think about what exhausts you and what drains you. What would the absolute worst case scenario of your life look like? I would be so unhappy if the life I led looked like duh, duh, duh. Next, what are your skills? What stuff comes so naturally and so easy to you? What stuff are you like, I am so good at that? And then when you're questioning what your skills are, also think about the stuff that people tell you are kind of like, man, I wish I was more blah, 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 but I'm just not. So mine is organized. I get a lot of, man, I wish I was as organized as you. I wish I could run a spreadsheet. I wish I had blah, blah, blah. I wish I had all these things going. And I'm kind of like, oh, that stuff doesn't even, like, I wouldn't even question my ability to do that. I would assume that everybody has that ability. But not everyone does, so really try and find that thing that you have that comes easy, that others may not. Because this is a skill that can carry you through your life and through your workplace. It is a treasure that you have that not everyone else gets. Next, what are your core values? The easiest way to do this one is to jump on the internet right now and find a link for a list of core values. There are heaps of them on there. Read through it and pull out 3 that you most identify with. Some of these lists are massive, so narrowing it down to 3 might be a bit tricky. I would recommend writing down all the ones that you align with and then kind of crossing out like, oh, I actually value that more than that, so I'll cross out the second one. And compare and contrast and then narrow it down to 3. Another good way to really kind of define this list is to ask yourself another simple question, which is, what do I want to be remembered for? So think about, at the end of your life, you want people to be talking to each other and say, I really loved how blank, blank, blank that person was. And that will give you a lot of clues to what your core values are. I really love how strong and inspiring that person was. Then ambition, drive, leadership, all of those might be your core values. As ends our question phase, and it's time for the most fun part, analysis. Sit down and have a look at all of your answers, and then really think to yourself, what are the similarities? What are the differences? Because there'll be a lot. Particularly in that I really like doing this, I really don't like doing this. Those two, there's probably a lot of correlations. I really found through that process, which was something I had never thought about before, that I really like working solo. I really like having my own autonomy. Not to say I can't work in a team, but I truly thrive when I feel like I can choose my own direction. And that was something I never realized before I did this process. So find what those things are. I hope you have those written down, because now it is time for the bit that no one ever thinks about. Yes, you have a pretty clear picture forming. You kind of know the stuff that pulls you and the stuff that drives you and the situational and environmental factors that you like to be able to thrive. But now we need to think about your vehicle, because all you've done is pick the journey you want. You've picked the road, you've picked the map, but you haven't yet decided on your vehicle. The thing that super bugs me is that we're told that we need to pick our vehicle when we are in high school. That before you even really know who you are, what you value, you're kind of like, you must pick a road, you must pick a vehicle, and you must travel it now. You're kind of like, I don't even have my bearings yet. How am I meant to... Is anyone else done with this metaphor? I really like it. I'm gonna crack on. And the thing is, people assume that you can only have one vehicle, and that's the only way you'll ever be fulfilled, and that is ridiculous. What you need to know is what road you're taking. A bunch of vehicles can travel you down that road. So what I'm trying to say is, pick your career, pick your actions, pick your lifestyle based on all of this information. Pick your vehicle, the thing you are choosing to travel forward with. So, like I said, going through this process, I found that these are my values. These are my guidelines, these are my purpose, these are my drivers. But what is my vehicle? My vehicles are actually threefold. To fulfill all of these values, my drivers are circus, are YouTube, and are producing work. Within circus, I really value work that is sharing information, that is helping people, that is teaching something. So that's what I like to perform. I also get a chance to be creative and different. With my YouTube channel, I get a chance to design it the way that I wish. I get to be autonomous, I get to work solo, I still get to be creative. All of these things are completely separate industries. And it's also not to say that you can't leave one and then join another. I might quit circus tomorrow and then may choose to be a cake decorator, because I get to work solo, I get to be creative, I get to determine my own pathway. I'm going to make this look like a whale. Whatever that thing is, those things that drive, I get to help people, I get to deliver them something that might be used for their birthday, for their wedding. It will bring others joy. It's helping. There are so many different vehicles you can choose to fulfill that purpose. Living purposefully means selecting the right vehicle and traveling that terrain that you choose. This is what it means to truly live purposefully. While we're on it, what I want you to do with that comment that you had earlier is to go down into the comment section and now write one sentence. I found my values to be this. My drivers are blank. Because then you can see where you came from and a glimpse of where you're going to, and that is so exciting, and I would love to see that from each of you. So here on my channel, this is what we are all about. We're all about living with purpose, living with intention. So if this is something that really floats your boat, please subscribe, ring the little bell, and you'll be notified of more content about how to live your life your own way. As always, thank you so much for hanging out. Peace.